All right, well, thank you, Mike Neff, for being here for the ASHS Legends interview. I'd like to go ahead and get started and ask you the first question. What is your horticultural specialization, and what are the primary positions that you have held?
Well, my horticultural specialization, I would say, would be to make horticulturists happy. I've been as the executive director of ASHS, so that's probably the specialization. Before I came to ASHS 38 years ago, I was at the National Academy of Sciences. I worked on the Transportation Research Board journals first, and then I went to the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences and was a copy editor there for about 2 or 3 years. And they saw this ad in the paper for a plant science organization, and that was in 1985. And I came to ASHS as copy editor, and then a couple of months later was named managing editor, and a couple of years after that was named assistant executive director of ASHS. So my specialty is trying to take care of horticulturists and make them happy professionally, I would say.
Well, thank you. You've done a wonderful job at that.
Well, I appreciate that.
What has horticulture meant to your life and career?
Well, horticulture has literally been my life and career. I was a young man, obviously, when I started at ASHS, and it has been for 38 years my career entirely. And my family has obviously been very involved. I met my wife actually about 2 or 3 months before I started at ASHS, and 3 years later we were married. So she's been very involved in horticulture. And we have two daughters who started to come to ASHS meetings as toddlers, uh, and went to many meetings and did a lot of little jobs for ASHS. So it's truly been my life's work and my career for all my life.
Thank you. So, in that, great segue, what do you consider to be the most rewarding part of your career in horticulture?
I say truly dealing with the members, trying to solve problems, uh, make sure that everyone's getting what they want out of this organization has been the primary focus. And when you see happy people, not everyone's happy all the time, but the majority of people are happy most of the time. And trying to help the boards make the right decisions, and offering guidance and suggestions on that for the members of this organization. My background is journalism. My degree was in journalism, and science writing also was a focus. So I worked in scientific journals my entire career, uh, straight out of college. So my primary focus with ASHS was always the publications, and trying to keep, if you compare how we used to produce journals 30 and 40 years ago to how it's done today, you wouldn't recognize the world that you were looking at from back then today. So that's been the biggest challenge, and also the most rewarding part is to try to keep ASHS, if not on the cutting edge, certainly on the leading edge. And I think we've been able to accomplish that. And today we have new challenges to face. So,
Fantastic. Thank you. How long have you been a member of ASHS, and how has the society influenced your career?
well, I've not been a member. I hope to. I'd like to get a little emeritus status membership after I retire soon at the end of this year. But I've been with ASHS for 38 years, and so as I said, influenced my career. It's been my career. So I hope that I've been able to give some influence to ASHS to keep it going on the forward moving path.
Absolutely. And I support the emeritus status. What advice can you offer to students or young professionals in horticulture?
Be engaged. I think, society from when I was much younger, even as a child, there were so many social clubs, Kiwanis and all of Rotary, and it seemed as a child that everyone's parents belonged to something, and that has changed drastically over the past 40, 50 years. That we're not a society of joiners and participants anymore, and that stretches over into professional societies too. So, it's not a criticism of the younger generation by any means. It's just a different shift in attitudes about young people. But the most important thing for young people younger generation is to become engaged and involved with a professional society. I don't believe most people have any concept of how much of a positive aspect and influence it can have on your career. It's the people that you get to know and the contacts that you make in life that really make the difference in your career. And this professional society for horticultural science is one of the absolute best ways to do that. You'll meet people that you have no idea impact in the direction that they're going to change for you. And I can speak to that directly because before I applied and took the job as executive director 25 years ago, I consulted ASHS members who I knew well for guidance and to tell me should I, and the support I got from them changed my life. It gave me the executive directorship that I was hired to do, and it was because of the influence, because I was ready to not. And those people, unfortunately, have passed on since then, but I still retain the letters of recommendation that they sent for that. So that's the change, life-changing opportunities that you can't imagine a professional society can give you. And
Well said.
that's what the young folks need to really look at ASHS as.
Well stated. Thank you. Last question. What excites you most about the future of the horticultural industry and profession?
That it is essential to life. The need for horticulture will never go away, and in fact, it's going to get stronger and stronger as climate change challenges present things. The heat that we've been experiencing in this summer of 2023 don't only affect plants and humans, they affect how we live. And I think that the opportunities that are going to be coming for horticultural science specifically to keep feeding this world are going to be huge challenges. And we need scientists to solve those problems, whether it's drought stress, heat stress, whatever stress, flood stress. There are all kinds of stresses that we're aware of that are going to get worse. And I think that's the exciting thing. Everyone needs to eat, and horticulture feeds the world.
Fantastic. Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time and for serving as a Hort legend and inspiration to the current and future members of ASHS.
I appreciate that very much.